Hello parents, this is a short video tutorial to show you how you can access your child's Google Classroom and also to show your child how he can access his Google Classroom. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is go to google.com, which I have already done, and you want to make sure that you are signed in under your child's Bishop Musio account. How do you get that? The school will provide that to you. The school has created a Bishop Musio email account and password for every single student. The in-seat students will sign in on their own and they will be given that email account and password, and they will have it in a safe, secure place so they can provide that to you if you would like to sign into their classroom at home. For remote learners, it will also be issued to you, and here's where you would want to sign in. You want to click on this little icon here. Now, I have a Gmail account, so typically I'm signed in, but Benjamin was issued his so that I could film this, so I went ahead and signed him in. What happens if your child is not signed in, like Benjamin is? Well, you just want to add another account. So you would click add another account, and this is where you would click use another account, and then you would sign in using that school provided email and the school provided password. I'm going to go back since I do not want to do that. I am already signed in using Benjamin, so we're in good shape. Once you are signed in, you want to click on the 9 squares here. This is where Google houses all of their icons for their various apps. We want to go to the Classroom app. You may need to scroll down a little bit to find it, but once you do, click on it. When you click on it, you are going to see a slide like this, but there will be many more classes on it if the child has already joined them, which for the in-seat students, they will. For the remote students, I believe that the teachers are going to pre-add them, but if they do not, no big deal. All you have to do is click on this little plus sign and you would join a class and you will enter the class code that you will be given for your child for each of their classes. So out here we see science, but you would also see a box that looks just like this for religion, and then another one for English, and then another one for math, and so forth. There will be a different classroom for each of the student subjects. What's beautiful about the way the Bishop Musio teachers have set up the Google Classrooms is they are all the same. So it provides consistency from one class to another so that the child knows exactly where to go to find all their content, but also so that mom and dad know where to go to find all the content too in order to help with any assignments that the child might need help with. So, in order just to give you an overview of what a classroom might look like, Ms. Gonzalez has added Benji early so we can take a look at it. So we'll click on it, and the very first thing you're going to see in any given class is what's called the class stream. This shows the most recent activity by the teacher. So it shows different content she's added and materials. It also provides a beautiful way for her to communicate and give out announcements, and also for students to ask questions. So she has a little site that she initially wants the students to visit, and and then the students can offer any feedback here, and so it promotes dialogue even in the online environment. Next to the Stream tab is the Classwork tab, and this is going to be the tab that remote learners are going to be visiting every day, and those in seat will also be visiting frequently just to become accustomed with Google Classroom, just in the event that any child may have to be home for quarantine or just are sick for an extended period of time. But when you click on Classwork, you are going to see that there are two main topics. We see those here. The first one is weekly lesson plans and assignment checklist. And underneath that, you will see two things. You will see a weekly student-centered checklist for the child to check off and make sure he gets whatever assignments he needs to complete done for that week. And then you're going to see a thorough lesson plan for every single for every single day of the week. Let's click on that lesson plan. So for this week, you see the objectives that Ms. Gonzalez has for the week. You see the procedure steps that she wants the students to follow in order to meet those objectives, and then a list of any resources that she might need. Particularly for remote learners, this is a nice, thorough check for mom and dad to look at, and also for the child to read just to make sure that they have covered everything. Let's come back out to the classroom. That checklist is just an abbreviated form of the lesson plan, and it just shows what the child should have completed. So they can put a quick check next to each of the most important things for that day. And this really helps the child just to become more self-regulated and independent in terms of getting those different assignments done. You will see the same checklist and same lesson plan in each of the content areas that your child is taking. The topic that your child is going to be visiting most frequently, particularly if they're a remote learner, is the week one assignments tab. This just has housed on a daily basis what we already saw in the lesson plan. So if we click on Tuesday, Tuesday is a day where the children would be introducing themselves. And it's written in student-friendly language just so that the child can feel like they're actually there with the teacher and discoursing with them. So if we want to view a little larger what Tuesday looks like, we would click on View Assignment. And when we come in here, it says, hello and welcome to our classroom. In order to get to know each other better, we're going to do a little introduction. And she asks you to click on the Google slide that is here and to complete the assignment. So I'm going to click on this just so you can see what it looks like. She says, erase my answers by entering yours. So Benjamin, for instance, would click here and then he would highlight, oops, bad. He would highlight this area and he would type in his name and then he would come here and he would type in his birthday and favorite food and so forth. What does he do when he's done? Well, Google saves everything in real time. So it would say, like it says, last edit was seconds ago. So it has saved whatever I have changed so far, but it hasn't turned it in. To turn it in, we would come back out here and we just click turn in. Well, I don't want to turn this in because Benjamin will get a 0, considering that we've changed nothing. But once he does complete it, he would click turn it in. Let's go back out to the classroom. On Wednesday, Ms. Gonzalez has them setting up their binder, and so that would be something that she would give some thorough instructions for in SEAT. And then Thursday, she has them completing another activity, and that looks very similar to the setup of what we saw on Tuesday. If we would click on View Assignment, we would go in, it tells the students in 3 short steps exactly what to do. And it's actually, let's go ahead and click on this. This is a little different because it's taking them to another fantastic resource called Desmos, and they would be completing that activity in Desmos, and Ms. Gonzalez would have it turned in there. And the reason that, and here's how you would know as a parent that they would be turning in Desmos. Notice there's no turn in button here. So when we click on this, it's going to have the child signing in with Google and continuing on and completing this awesome activity in Desmos instead. So don't be worried if you don't see a turn in button. That means that the child will turn it in on that external site instead. And then the last day is Friday, so we'll click on that. And again, she says here, we're going to do this little worksheet. The worksheet pops up. This is a Google slide, so let's click on View Assignment. Notice this has a turn it in again. So Benjamin would click on this. He would complete that. Now, Benjamin will be in SEAT, so he'll be able to complete that in SEAT. But if your child is a remote learner, he or she would complete that at home. And again, it saves in real time. So as your child is completing it, it will be saving up here, but when they are done, they come back out here and they click turn it in. And that is everything that you need to know in order to navigate Google Classroom. It's really easy, and because all the teachers have used a uniform setup, there's no guesswork about where any of the assignments are housed. But if you need to ask a teacher any questions about any of the assignments, if you click on People, Ms. Gonzalez comes up and you could just click on the email link and email her. All of these teachers are readily accessible via email and so ready and excited to help each of your students. So I hope that this little tutorial helped you out in terms of getting used to Google Classroom. I know your children are going to love it.